Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my series of tutorials for your art class, portfolio updates, and everything that we need to do to get caught up. So this is a little bit outside of directly manipulating your portfolio, but it's still a good thing to know. We are going to look at cropping your photos and making sure that they're good quality images for displaying in your work. So one of the reasons why we're doing this is to make sure that if you do decide to go on to higher levels of art, whether it's just within the St. Joe's classes or if you decide to take art in college, you want to make sure that you're presenting your artwork in the best way possible. So a lot of you have been uploading pictures that are kind of too far away. We see kind of the nasty floor or some of the table kind of around your artwork. We really just want to focus on the hard work that you've put into your projects. Some of them even had like a foot in the corner, like your foot sticking into the image, and that's just not very appealing. So when you go into your Google Drive, finding your folder that has your artwork in it, go ahead and just open one of those up, and you'll always have the option at the top to open with. Go here. I have a lot of apps connected to my files for different reasons. If you have Pixlr Editor and you know how to use it, you can use that. But if you can go ahead and click more apps, and then very easy one to do is Google Drawings. Click enter, and it should be the first one that comes up. If it's already connected, it'll have a green check mark asking you to rate it. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. If it's not connected, it'll say a blue button with a plus sign, say connect. If it's already connected, then it'll be green and you'll be good to go. So mine is already connected. So when I click here, if I'm in it, I just have so many apps it doesn't actually show it. So I may have to right click with open with and then connect more apps. You can also do it that way. Or you can go to Google Drawings. Drawings.google.com is right here. And what I'll need to do is, first thing I'm going to rename this as 1-point perspective cropped, just for my sake so I know what I'm doing. And then I'll click insert image. And this is where I'll find it in my Google Drive. So I know that my folder is in here. And this is the image that I would like to crop. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. And it will actually fit it to that area. One thing to know about the Google Drawings is your image will already be selected. It'll fit the screen. And when you have this plus sign mouse cursor, then I can click and hold the mouse down. And you see those red bars, that means it's completely centered in that box. I can pull this down just a little bit and see this blue dot here. When I hover over it, my cursor turns into a cross. So I can click and hold that and rotate it. So as I'm holding it, it shows me the degrees of rotation. If I rotate it 270 degrees, it kind of pops to that grid, pops in place one way or another. All the lines in that outline are going to be straight, and that is a perfect rotation. So once I have that, I'm just going to click and drag this up to the corner, and you'll see that on the left side and the top, I have the red lines showing me that I'm lined up with the edge of my workspace. And I need to go ahead and crop it. So this little icon with the two corners in the line is the crop image tool. Now, some black on your border is okay. That's why we use the black mat board, because black as a background is a good presentation color. But just for the sake of showing you the crop, I'm going to go ahead and crop it in a little bit closer. You don't want to crop out too much of your artwork, but see how the edge of my paper is really curved right here? I think it would actually look better presentation-wise if I go ahead and just barely crop that in. So you can see, you follow that right side edge, I still have some black showing to the left of that gray line, so I'm going to move it over a little bit more until I don't see that. So making sure all my crop lines are straight. I still have the top bar, so I can just grab that middle piece, click and hold my mouse down, and drag that down. Now once I have it cropped, I can either click away or hit enter on my keyboard. And there we go, it cropped all that extra out. So once again, I can just click and drag this, see my 2 red lines, and I'm going to click outside in this checkered box area to unselect that picture. And now we see this little lined corner icon over here. When I hover over it, it shows the lines that I can click and drag. And all I want to do is just make that meet up as closely as possible with my image. And now I have just my artwork, no distractions, no crazy backgrounds. From here, in order to save it as the correct file, I go to File, make a copy. I'm sorry, not make a copy. File, download as, and you want it to be a JPEG. This will make sure that it's a picture file and it doesn't stay as a drawing file. So for you, it'll pop up in your Google Drive. For me, it downloads straight to my laptop's hard drive. So now if I go into my drive and I look for, I've named it 1 point perspective. Okay. So here is that drawing file that's cropped. I'll just save to drive. That's right. So for me, it's on my hard drive. For you, it would save in your main drive area. So now all I have to do is make sure that it's in the right folder. So just because it's saved, it doesn't mean it saved it where I need it to save. So I'm going to go back to this Art 2 area, and then I will new file upload. It was in my downloads area, so I'm going to go here. Okay, and I'm just going to try to quickly find that 1 point perspective. Should be alphabetical, so I should be able to find it pretty quickly. Here it is. All right, and there's my new image. But I realized, okay, well, Art 2, it would be in the Art 1 folder. So let me click and drag that, make sure I've got it in the correct folder. So this needs to go in my Art 1 folder as an Art 1 example. Okay, so I'm just going to double click that, make sure it's there. Ta-da, it's there. Okay, so it shows both. That's okay. I can leave this other one. I don't have to delete that one. I'd rather leave that one because that's my original photograph, but this one would just be the one I put in my portfolio. So if I go to my Google site, go to my site, go to Art 1 because that's the page that I'm editing. I'm going to click the pencil icon. Now I don't want this old photo. This is the bad photo that I'm replacing. So I'm going to click this X button, which says remove. Make sure that my cursor is blinking here where I want the picture to go. Click insert, drive, image. Searching for that 1 point perspective photo. And notice that it says 1 point perspective cropped JPEG. So that's the one I want. And you'll notice that this also is a lot smaller file too. So once I put it there, make sure that that's all the way over. It's 100%. So I always have to click save. I'm going to go ahead and save this. All right, so also in the folder, it shows it in the correct orientation as well, now that I have rotated it. And that is all for now on rotating and cropping your images. That's also how you should update your images here. So if you've done a progress photo and you just use it as a placeholder, you have to make sure that you update the most recent finished artwork here to make sure that your portfolio update is actually up to date and is correct. So that's all for now. See you next time.